morning, Pulpites, and welcome to another edition of Pulp Picks. I'm Patrick.
And I'm Fritz.
And Corey is out sick today. So, we've got some picks for you today. Fritz, what do we got?
Yeah, so first up, continuing on from last week, you're showing off some nice trade paperbacks we've got. First, I've got DC's The Flintstones back from 2016. A nice 12-issue series here. A lot of, cool updating of the original concept of the cartoon. A lot of fun satire and just, really kooky concepts in here. You got all your favorites. Obviously, you got Fred dealing with work and stress from that. You've got the Great Kazoo in a really weird, version of him. That's great. It's really fun. It's really, touching and smart at points. Not what you'd really expect from a Flintstones comic, but it's awesome. You'll love it.
Yeah, I remember that. It was real hot when it came out, along with Scooby-Doo.
Yeah. And then next up, for new comics, we've got The Killock Arson Raid. It's a follow-up miniseries to one from a couple years ago. It's this society of robots where if you commit a crime, you and 3 other robots are basically locked together with this thing called the Killock, where if one of you dies, you all die. And this is dealing with the fallout from the first miniseries where several robots try and figure out a way around that. And now the rest of their society has to deal with the consequences of that. It's really cool. A lot of fun, neat sci-fi concepts that are just really strange at times with dealing with characters who aren't bound by biological limitations. I'm very curious to see where they go from here, because it looks like a lot of their world might just come crumbling down around them. Then, speaking of people having their lives crumbling around them, next we've got 10 Lives of Wolverine, continuing his time traveling adventures, getting some really different looks at aspects of some deep cuts, especially with his time in Weapon X, his time as a mercenary or during World War II. Just really getting to see these different facets of his life and how they've helped make him the man he is. And it's also really starting to dovetail now with 10 or X deaths. We never found out if that's supposed to be called that.
Yeah, I think it's 10. I think I looked it up afterwards.
Okay.
I recall that it was
10. Yeah. But yeah, you're starting to see those stories dovetail, and along with some of the other stuff from X-Force recently. So we're kind of reaching the peak, the culmination of it all, and it's been really fun to see happen. And over to you, Patrick.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and dovetail that, and we'll go with 10 Deaths of Wolverine. Benjamin Percy is writing a really interesting story. And like Fritz just said, they're starting to kind of tie together. The storylines are coalescing, and you're seeing exactly kind of where it's going. And we were actually spending a little time this morning talking about, okay, Moira McTaggart, is she full on evil? There's something that she does in here that I'm like, oh, no, that's hideously evil. And then I recall, but they can be resurrected. But still, that's pretty evil.
Yeah.
And yet she seems kind of gray area in some other ways, and maybe she's just the victim here. I'm really interested to see how Percy ties this one off and where this story goes. For my next pick, Jeff Lemire has another new title out called Little Monsters, about baby vampires, or not really babies, they're children. It seems post-apocalyptic. It's kind of hard to tell. He doesn't really give you a whole lot, but the art by Wynn in this is fantastic. It's kind of black and white-ish, kind of rough. It gives you that kind of gritty, kind of end-of-the-world feel. But it appears that there's some children vampires that are hanging out at the end of the world all by themselves, and they're waiting for somebody to come back. And then there's something that happens right at the end of the issue, which that never happens in the comic books.
No, you never get a cliffhanger.
No, never. So, but I'm really interested to see where this one is going. To the point that I ordered some extra copies after reading this one. So if we run out, we've got some more coming in a week or two here. So let us know and we can set those aside for you. And then I'll do my trade paperback. Batman: The Long Halloween, Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale, came out a long time ago. But this, if you are going to the theaters to see the Batman, which we both recommend.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. But this is one of the books that was inspirational to it. So that movie is not really an adaptation, but there are a lot of components of particularly The Long Halloween, especially the detective work that Bruce Wayne, spoiler alert, Bruce Wayne the Batman. I don't know if people knew that or not. No origin story in the movie either, which is nice. But so the detective work that happens in The Long Halloween is very similar in the Batman movie. I found a lot of commonality between those two stories. So great movie, great book, and honestly, reading the book beforehand, I think, would be beneficial to seeing the movie, but not necessary.
And if you have seen the movie, it's still a great book, so check it out.
Yeah, it really is. It's a really good story. So anyway, that's our picks for this week. Be sure to like, subscribe, follow us on the social media. Maybe Corey will be back next week. I don't know. Maybe we'll have somebody else. We're going to try to expand who we're going to have on. And hey, viewers, if you are interested in joining us on a Pulp Picks as a guest, we would love to do that. That's something that we've been talking about doing, and I know that we've got a number of loyal followers who are always reading their books. You just have to get up really early on a Wednesday morning so that you can come down here and record with us and have read something.
Yeah.
So, but let us know, and like I said, we will see you next week. Thanks, guys.